Every time I hear those guitars and them horns, I know it's time for Leon. Welcome. It's your boy, That's the Legend, Leon Rogers, 107.5 WGCI. This is the Three Ring Circus we call Later with Leon. And tonight on the show, I got two of my favorite people here. One old school, both crazy. First up, my girl, you done seen her on Def Comedy Jam. She does her thing. She's a Black businesswoman, entrepreneur. She's even on comedy clubs here in Chicago. Give it up for Miss Sonya D one time. And noise went. And this heifer right here is beyond crazy. I'm so proud to watch her do her thing and watch her come up. Her TikTok is amazing. Her TikTok
amazing, yes.
Y'all put y'all hands together for my girl, Miss Marilee. Oh,
yes.
I'm loving the green hair, but
Thank you.
I know, I'm loving that hat too.
I'm ready for war.
You see these hats back here? It's gonna go up there, boo.
I'm ready for war.
I like that. I like that.
Before we get started, I got to show some love to some celebrities who are bringing in their birthdays this week. Miss Patti LaBelle, one of my favorites.
Right.
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Also, Lauryn Hill, Lenny Kravitz, Pam Grier is on May 26th. Pam Grier is still fine.
Yes, she is.
You know, that explains a lot about Lauryn Hill. She's a Gemini.
I love Gemini.
Explains a lot. Now, Marilee, before we get into the show, you're really into astrology and numerology. You all the time, because my wife is Gemini, June 7th, and I'm a Cancer, July 7th. And we've been trying to kill each other for the past 5 years.
But won't let each other go. You will never leave.
Yeah. But we can't kill each other though. Like, how do we get around that?
Number one, y'all having too much fun. Y'all play too much. That's the first thing. Y'all be enjoying each other too much. Too much. I love to see it though.
Sonya, now you different. You like a hard ass. You a dude.
I'm Capricorn, boo.
Yeah, see, my dad, my youngest daughter, Addie Bear, is New Year's Eve, and my dad was December 29th. So I get it. You remind me of them. Y'all hard-headed. And
my moon is in Capricorn.
See, I don't
hard-headed.
I don't get all that. Hold on. Explain that to me real quick, Marilee.
Okay, so a real quick crash.
Capricorn, but you a Scorpio.
Oh, okay, so a crash course. So your sun sign, which is the sign you are, is a Cancer. I am an Aquarius. Sonya's a Capricorn. Your moon, which is your descendant, is how you process your emotions and feelings, your innermost thoughts. And your rising, which is your ascendant, is what people perceive you to be. So that's a quick crash course. Moons is feelings and emotions. Sun is your ego. And then your ascendant is what people perceive.
It's a science. You just basically gave a crash course of how I feel when I drink a bottle of liquor and I see my old lady. I get the rise and ascend, and it's time to throw down.
See, it's real. That just proves it. It's real.
So I want to give a big shout out to Paul Mooney. Peace to Paul Mooney. We lost a comedy legend, Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney, if speaking about Paul Mooney, Marilee, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Okay.
What did Paul Mooney mean to you in comedy? Because I know even though you're new in the game, Paul Mooney was a legend.
Absolutely. Okay. Paul Mooney made it so easy for you to be encouraged to speak from your heart and to know that even though it might not come out the way other people might like it, your truth is your truth, and there is power and truth, laughter, healing. Even the way he just was himself, the way he flipped the whole word, and he wouldn't stop, because I feel like the way he explained it, I mean, how can you stop? You go through it and you live it, and you go through it and you learn, and then life changes and the world changes, but not so much. So much is different, but so much is the same. And because he had spanned through so many decades, he can see all of that. And he kept it real. He was nice. He was very, he embraced younger comedians, him and Dick Gregory. Big shout out. Paul Mooney actually worked with a few of my friends. I didn't get to work with him, but I did get to meet him. But he was amazing.
Sonya,
yes.
On that, Paul Mooney, you did Def Jam, one of the most iconic shows, and he's been on Def Jam. What, if any, relations did you have with Paul Mooney, and how did his death affect you? Like, what did you know?
Now, I again, like the young lady said, she did not work with him, but I met him at the Laugh Factory. And we walked in the green room, and when I tell you the knowledge that this man
man,
it's amazing. I mean, he is an amazing man. He is he's so real. I don't know, I don't know if I picked up, something when I met him, but I'm talking about the truth. That the truth shall set you free.
Mm-hmm.
That's, man, all day. I mean, he was an amazing actor, amazing speaker, amazing comic. He was just all over great, and it's like, it's sad to see, I actually saw it on social media. I didn't even know. I just seen his face. Somebody said, rest in peace. I was like, Paul Mooney. And then I Googled and I was like, wow, I didn't even know he was gone.
Yeah.
But that was the man. That was the man.
Back to Def Comedy Jam. I remember when you went to go tape that. I was new in the game. I was just coming in. What was that like for you? Because Def Comedy Jam was the pinnacle of comedy. Like in the 90s.
Yes, it was.
If you got on Def Comedy Jam, you was out of here. Like, everybody, I don't know no comic that's not working still to this day that did that show. What was it like for you being on that show? And what was the pressure like going out there in New York in front of those audiences?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you how it really happened. We all, about the Miller Junior draft competition, all that goodness. Yeah. I didn't win. I mean, I got a standing ovation at the Park West, and everybody's like, "Oh, she's going to Def Jam." And Corey Holcomb put me on the game. He's like, "Baby girl, you too new. You strong, but you're too new. They're not gonna let you go do Def Jam." But like they said, what God got for you is for you. And I was at All Jokes Aside one night, and Russell Simmons was there, and he took a few people back to New York. And I'm gonna tell you what changed my whole that red leather. When I first went to Def Jam, I had on the girly thing. I was cute. And it was Dave Chappelle at a pizzeria that said to me, "You're about to introduce yourself to the world." So I go back to my hotel room. I'm like, okay, are you going to tell these jokes or are you going to tell these jokes? So I went on there and I was like, you know what? Like Steve Harvey told me in the back, it's either going to make or break you. So that's why I delivered the way I delivered on Def Comedy Jam. Because yes, it is a lot of pressure. You are female and you got all these guys and everybody's like, oh, well, she's probably going to be just another female. And I mean, I got a standing ovation. You see Jamie Foxx in the audience. You see Dave Chappelle. You see Chris Rock. You see Annabelle Sakura. These people standing up for me. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Then I got back home and, I was working for the post office, driving an 18-wheeler truck. And, answer machines were back out, in those days. So I go home and say, your answer machine is full. Okay, and you just hitting them and say, hey, we saw you on HBO. We want to book you. Hey, we want to. I was like, oh, what do I do? And I went to go talk to my supervisor. Hey, John, what do I do? He said, step out on faith.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's come back to your job, step out on faith. And I did it. And that was 20 years ago. June, next month will be 25 years. I'm celebrating 25 years. Yeah,
wow.
My job.
From looking at that clip, did you inspire Missy Elliott? Because I was
okay. I was about to say something to you. Okay.
Look at it.
I'm so sick of comics talking about you look like Missy on that picture, but that was 89 pounds ago.
Wow, yeah.
Who did that jacket? That was Alpha Bailey.
Shout out to Alpha Bailey.
Yes, that was his jacket. Alpha said, put this on. And I said, that's Alpha he designed for Michael Jordan, all the leather. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. So I said, well, it's kind of boyish, but I'm kind of hard. Yeah. But I can still look cute in the face, you know what I'm saying? So it worked. And I killed it. Yeah.
Piggyback off that, Marilee, and then I'm gonna come back to you. Sonya was like hard. As a female comedian, do you feel you have to, when you get on stage, you got to come a little bit more direct, or do you get penalized for being like a dude? Because, you know what I'm saying? I always say y'all the female comics that I call to be the female if I got a problem with. Y'all like my sisters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love you all. Introspect when you're talking about relationships and stuff. You come at it from a woman's way, but a little bit harder and soft, than being so soft. Have you had a problem with doing that? Are you received well?
Well, I will say this, the people like Sonya D, Monique, all those women that went before me took so many stripes and lashes for me, so many experiences that I don't have to because they fought and they worked hard. It's harder. You have to be coming harder than the boys in a lot of cases to be considered as funny as the boys. You know what I'm saying? So it's a thing where the work is never, ever done. It's always a process and you learn. I think I'm more hard on stage than I used to be because it's like that when you come on stage, especially if you're trying to be cute. The day on a date, they like, now who is this with these? Girl, who is that? And so now you got to either come out, you can't wrestle with them. You can't wait for that laugh. You got to be coming out like, look, they done told me I was funny. I done been booked 17 times. Let's roll. Right. And that's the only way you can take it. Other than that, they're going to eat you up and spit you out.
Well, but that's true. Sonya, so back to you. Well, what makes you different? Do you think you're a feminist to an extent, or is it just that? Okay,
I'm a performer. You know,
Okay.
I'm a woman comic. I'm not a man comic. And I think that's when you know you've grown, when you can not label yourself, oh, she's a female. No, I'm a comedian. I'm a professional performer. And it comes a time in our careers where we have to stop being the comedian, just being all over performer, because, you know, you become a comedian, an actor, or, you know, it all becomes one. At some time in your life, it's going to become one. You know, you're not just a comedian for the rest of your life. You know, Melissa McCarthy, she's an actress, comedian, she's a writer. You know what I'm saying? It's like you become something other than just a comic, and you have to develop that somewhere in your career. Yeah, we started comics. Oh, comedian Sonya D. You know, 10 years later, now it's comedian Sonya D, the comedy club owner. Comedian Sonya, she owns a marketing company. Comedian Sonya, now it's just Sonya D. You know, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, y'all give it up for Sonya D. You know, people say that a lot now. Yeah. They don't say comedian Sonya D anymore.
Right.
For Leon Rogers, get up. You know what I'm saying? They don't say the comedian, because we are now professional performers and entertainers.
Actually, Sonya, you were the first woman to book me. And then it was Mary. You were the first woman to book me when you were doing, I think it was Bocce's out south. And I think you were doing Riddles too. Me, Smitty B, and Calvin Evans.
Pass?
I did everything that you were doing in 2010.
Oh.
Everything.
You weren't. Trust me, you were not doing everything I was doing in 2010. It made me strong.
Sonya was putting me up there like, let's go. What you got?
You were not doing everything I was doing.
She be like, you've been doing comedy 2 months. All right, 20 minutes. Let's go. And I
was right. Okay, I remember.
Hey, Marilee, yes. If you was doing everything Sonya was doing in 2010, I can find it on X video. I can find it on YouPorn. If you was doing everything Sonya was doing it.
Tell it, Leon. Tell it.
Look, I was in Gurney, Waukegan, everywhere. I was putting the miles.
Has either one of you all had COVID or had family members affected by COVID?
I definitely had that.
You did?
I had something before they called it COVID, but what the results were was upper respiratory infection. That's what I had a bad cough, and in 3 days it was gone. And that was it.
Marilee?
It was November 2019. And in 2020, all this, we have a name now called COVID. When they kept me for 8 hours to tell me I had an upper respiratory infection.
So I had it at the end of July, the beginning of August. Soon as everything opened and I kind of got a little lax to go outside, that first show, I got it. And then I was looking at the playback. I was on the mic like, oh! I was like, that's the COVID right there. That's why I got it. I was in there like, thank you. I was so happy to be back on stage. The mic was on my face.
That was COVID, boo. That was COVID.
Has work picked back up for you guys? Seeing as now everything's starting to slowly open back up, or did you ever really fall off with work? Sonya, were you going out real quick? 1 minute before we go to break, were you going out even like during the COVID? I know a lot of stuff.
Yes. I had to, you got to think outside the box. I can't go along with the whole, let's just shut the world down. There's got to be 30, 40 people that feel safe to social distance that want to come out and laugh somewhere. We may not get the 1,000 or every crown, but it's, we just got to make it happen. I just can't completely shut it down. I can't, I'm it as a comic, as a performer,
Marilee, I know you moved around a little bit.
Okay. Hello. I was zooming, booming, crewing, looming. I was like, what's the link? I'm on there. I bought so many clothes. Look, I was ready because I didn't get no type of unemployment. So I was ready.
All right. Listen, man, when we come back, more with Marilee and more with Sonya D right here on Later with Leon. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Later with Leon, man. I'm here with these two fools, Sonya D and my girl Marilee.
Marilee.
We got a new game that we want to play here. You guys probably play it all the time, but we're going to introduce it today. It's called One Gotta Go. You see it all the time. And one gotta go, man. And we got to figure out which one gotta go. I'm going to ask Marilee or Sonya D. So for one gotta go, what are our choices today? Let's see what our choices are for one.
I'm terrified.
I don't know.
I'm not going nowhere.
Go. Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, or Richard Pryor? One gotta go, ladies.
Kevin.
Marilee, you say Kevin? Might be the greatest businessman of comics ever.
The rock star, and the rock star, him and Eddie Murphy are the rock stars of rock star comedians. And I know in 10 years, Richard Pryor's special is going to make me laugh. I know that. I just know it's standing up because I'm only 33, and
let me ask you a question. You don't think there's a disconnect with Richard Pryor? Like he's so far in the past. We can, and I'm not saying Richard not funny.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm saying we live off the lore and the fable of Richard Pryor. But a lot of young comics coming in the game have never seen Richard Pryor perform.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the whole Jordan thing. Jordan's been retired for over 20-some years now, right?
Right.
But he's considered the GOAT. People still buy his shoes. It's kids that's 9, 10 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, buying his shoes. They never saw Mike play like live. You saw YouTube videos. I mean, so I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I don't want to.
I love the way he presents everything. Everything that he talked about is you can play it right now, even the way he's comfortable with his sexuality, whatever it may have been, even if it was just trying things, the way he's comfortable talking about his experiences is something that a lot of comedians are not that comfortable talking about their personal experiences.
Sonya, one got to go.
Kevin,
why?
Let me explain something to you. Marilee and she's younger than we are. Richard Pryor, if it wasn't for Richard and comics like Richard and Eddie, none of us really probably will be sitting here right now. Kevin Hart needs to get to that level. You see what I'm saying? It's like Richard will never go. I don't care how many comics don't know he exists because evidently you didn't do your homework. You know? So my thing is, I found out what a true queen of comedy was when I researched Carol Burnett. You know?
That's strong.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody sees the now. You know, Kevin is hot now, but who opened that door for Kevin? You see what I'm saying? Who opened the door for Kevin? I mean, Kevin is still growing. I mean, he's good at what he does. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
absolutely.
I've worked with him before, but Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, these are pioneers. You know, these are the guys that while we here today.
Open the doors.
Exactly. So Kevin gotta go.
I would say Kevin too, but here's my reason, and this is my only reason. Out of those four, Kevin is the greatest businose out of those four. I don't care what.
Yeah, he's a good businessman. Yeah,
I don't care what.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Those other three have not created platforms like Kevin has that have launched other careers. None of them. You can't show me. I'm on a mat on a hole. Like Kev got Plastic Cup Boys. He put all his boys on. Cool. Only reason Kev goes to me, I don't think his material on a social level, matches up with the other three. And if I had to put them in order, I would say Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Eddie, and then Kev.
I can rock with that.
On social commentary, I think Richard Pryor had a great way of talking political stuff, and Dave is a
man,
genius.
Right?
And Eddie, not so much on the political side, but funny lifetime events. Him and Kevin are right there, but that's a tough one for me. But if I had to, I got to take Kevin out. But he is the greatest businessman in comedy right now.
Yeah, businessman, yes. Businessman,
absolutely.
Yes.
And if you want to work with me, Kevin, I just play too much on this show.
So you got Sonya D. You toured with the Queens of Comedy.
Open for a couple of days.
Open. Well, I'm just saying, you open. What was that like being on the stage with those legendary comics?
Okay, here's the deal. I opened up for a few dates, and I thought I was gonna get more. But again, like I said, one thing I love about Corey, and I keep bringing him up because Corey gave me so much knowledge, you know. And Corey was like,
Corey Holcomb.
You're right, Corey Holcomb. He said,
5150. His 5150 show is dope too.
Man,
yes, it is.
He always would give me knowledge, like, you know, advice. And he always say, you can't be stronger than the headliners. I didn't get that until even when I met Richard Pryor at Laugh Factory, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you, Shorty. He told me his illness was kicking in real bad. He put his arm around me. He said, it's gonna take you a little bit longer to make it. I'm 20-some years old. I'm not understanding what this man said. He said, because you're strong. And I'm like, okay, what's strong? And then when I got a standing ovation behind Cedric the Entertainer, I'm like, and then Guy Tori was like, oh, I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong? When I did the Queens, and I had a couple of dates for the Queens, you got to introduce yourself to 5,000 people. I got 15 minutes. So I did what I had to do. But when you getting standing ovations in 15 minutes, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
You know, and I get it now. At first, I was like, okay, what did I do wrong? So I think that's what actually pushed me to open my own comedy club, because I said I'm gonna find a stage can't nobody kick me off of.
That's right.
And
All right.
open up my club. But the Queens, yes, it's a lot of pressure when you are not the star, but you're shining. You see what I'm saying?
So my producers, they like that conversation. I got some more. One gotta go. Here's one more for you. You ready? Brandy, her, Jasmine Sullivan, and Fantasia.
Tasia gotta go.
What?
I love me some Tasia. I love all four of them. But let me tell you how them other three is in the pocket grooving. It feels good. And they have so many, they can do so many different styles of music. Fantasia, I want to shout. It don't matter what she's saying. She just make me want to take my shoes off and shout all the time. But sometimes I want to chill.
You said Fantasia gotta go?
I mean, he asked me. I don't want her to leave. He wanted her to leave. He asked me.
Brandy.
I thought you said
Brandy, her, Jasmine Sullivan, and Fantasia. One gotta go.
You want Fantasia to go?
That's what Marilee said. For me, it's and I hate to do this because she's so talented. It's her.
Okay.
Because Brandy was the voice. Jasmine Sullivan can sing her ass off. I'm sorry.
It's unreal.
I open for Jasmine Sullivan.
And Fantasia to me, well, I'm not gonna lie. Here it is. Okay, I got to give you honest. Why I don't put Fantasia out. You know, so Fantasia got that kind of like hood baby mama fine quality to me. So
I love Tasia.
I love her voice. I love her voice when she's not singing, and I always wonder what sex sounds would sound like with her voice. So I like
the Holy Ghost. You'll probably get the shouting.
I'm just gonna be.
Yeah, you ain't right. You are not right. You're not right. You're right.
My wife know that, so I can dream. But I mean,
you good then? You good, right? Dream on, player. Dream on. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I was gonna say her because I love Fantasia. I work with Jasmine, so yeah.
Whoa,
her is dope. Don't get me wrong. She's cold. She plays.
Yeah, she is.
I just think she don't have that. She ain't built up that pedigree just yet.
I want to see more performances from her.
Yes. All right, let's go to this one. Let's go. Fried chicken, cornbread, collard greens, and mac and cheese. One gotta go.
Cornbread, deuces. See ya.
Yeah, cornbread. I'm not a carb person anymore, babe.
Well, I definitely tear carbs up, but
I could do man a good pan of flat water cornbread. You can get them knee slapping whole moles in the greens up out of here for me. I don't care nothing about that, man. You don't get them. I done seen my grandmama pull them straight out the dirt and wash them.
He's so good.
We're gonna give him some greens.
Oh I can't do the corn. I don't do the carbs no more like I used to. Man, corn
good, and I'm not talking about no Jiffy. I'm not talking about no Jiffy.
That good, I know that thick cornbread.
My daddy
used to real homemade
little thin flat bread cornbread it was buttery crust. Man, come on, man. You can have them greens though. People
all the Mississippi coming up out of us.
Deer feet, man.
Now you need them greens, Leon.
I definitely
remember what you said. You want to drop that 20-30? You need them greens, player.
Not with deer feet and hog snout. Y'all don't want all that, man. Y'all eat some spinach like Popeye out the can before I eat that.
Greens go too hard. Cook them on low all night. And you cook a pot of collard greens on low all night in the morning. Oh my God.
I don't want nothing that got juice. And green got juice. The green, I don't even look. I remember the first time somebody put some greens on my plate and it touched my other food. I lost my mind. I do not. I think that is the most disgusting thing to me when green juice get out.
With you. Something is seriously wrong with you.
I don't even know why they put chicken on there. They disrespectful putting chicken on there first.
Now that is, I feel you on that.
That bird should be an endangered species in Popeyes.
Now your bird's soggy because it's green juice in it.
All right, last one, and I'm gonna put y'all to test real quick before we get out of here on break. Wanda Sykes, Cheryl Underwood, Kim Whitley, Tiffany Haddish.
Kim Whitley.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And
Kim.
I love you.
And I love her too. And she did my comedy club. Kim, but you put the options out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I tell you what, Kim Willie, I ain't getting rid of. I ain't getting rid of Sandra off 227. If it's that somebody else gotta go. I had to get Wanda Sykes up out of here. If that Kimberly.
Wanda's my girl, man. Wanda's hilarious.
Now, Cheryl, I can never get rid of her.
Wanda's crazy.
She's Southside Wild Hunters, G to the world blow up. Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl, yeah. I wasn't even gonna say something. She'll talk about some of you.
When we come back, I have the beautiful Marilee and the ultra beautiful and talented Sonya D in the building. We'll be back more later with Leon. We just tripping, y'all. We having a good time, man. But y'all crazy about them collard greens. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Later with Leon. I'm your host, the Destin legend Leon Rogers of 107.5 WGCI. And on the show with me tonight is Marilee and my homegirl Sonya D.
Hey, Mary.
Two of the funniest people in the world, two of my favorite people. Listen up, Marilee. Now I gotta holler at you. Now this pandemic hit, and you know, people took off and did a lot of things, Zoom shows, and OnlyFans went to the top. Now,
oh yes,
you have an OnlyFans page.
I sure do. And
now, let me ask you a question. And I refuse to go to it because I love you. I don't look. I'm gonna have somebody else sign up. But
I seen it.
Did you catch flack for that? Did you catch flack, and how did that make you feel? Like,
well, they wanted me to catch flack, but don't nobody pay these bills, and I didn't get unemployment, so I put my thinking cap on, and because I'm a creator, I don't just do stand up. I'm a singer, actress. I do a lot of things.
I do it all.
So I just started. And they all, if they in my DMs, oh, you got this going on. Ooh, you thick, you that, you. Okay, well, give me $10 a month and watch me be funny on my OnlyFans and this little skimpy stuff. Hello.
Right.
And they was like, you know what? You all right.
Are you doing like is your OnlyFans sexy, or do they come there looking to see sexy like, y'all want to see me do something dirty, and then you standing in the thong washing dishes? Like, is it stuff like that?
It's all that. It's one time I tried out all exotic fruits, topless, and I just described it, and it was funny, of course, because I was trying fruit, and
nobody was paying attention to the fruit, Marilee.
But I was cold.
Watermelon was in every scene.
I had a pillow right here. And then I had like a little centerpiece here. So it was like to the imagination.
So
but you know what's the funniest thing?
No, wait a minute. Wait. You had a pillow where?
Like kind of kitty corner to this side.
To the other pillows.
Yeah. That's absolutely correct.
Okay.
Double pillowed up in the street.
Triple pillowed up in the street.
Okay, hello.
Pillars. Yeah, pillars.
Yeah, because you gotta be smart, because if you charge them $10 a month and you get on there showing everything,
they don't come back.
They're gonna be like, well, thank you, ma'am. I'm dehydrated. And I really appreciate you. And then no, I want your $10 every month. I said every month.
Go ahead, girl. The new Netflix.
So wait, so have you ever had anybody when you're on stage performing after the show come and be like, hey, I love your show and I love your show?
But how about most of the people on my OnlyFans are so ashamed that they bought my OnlyFans? The only ones that tell me who they are the ones that want my attention. And then it'll be like out and they're like, you're funny. And I like, this is what it is. Men go on my OnlyFans and then they give me their approval. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but I guess you found the perfect mixture of sexy and comedy. Like, you paid $10 to come see me naked. Don't you ever play those respectability politics with me. But then they like, oh yeah, it's entertaining. And at this point, I don't even advertise it because I really don't even have to.
Girl, you go, girl. You go, girl.
Sonya,
I made money last year.
Sonya, real quick, you coming up on 25 years of comedy.
Yes, sir.
What was that like? What is that like, man? You got any special plans to celebrate 25?
Well, I got the two events coming up, one in Milwaukee, one in Rosemont. But I'm, you still got to stay thirsty, Leon. The moment we get comfortable and content, we feel like, oh, we've done this and we've done it. I'm still thirsty. A lot of people say, oh, I want to reach the sky. Well, I want to see what's beyond the sky.
Yeah.
No 25. People celebrate 50. You got people like Steve Harvey and again, Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, these people, they still 30, 40, 50, they're still doing it. They still, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stay.
I think and I want you to expound on this, but I think a lot of people get it wrong when they see somebody, like, say for instance, like a Lil Rel. People don't understand Rel's been working for years to get
years.
That, you know, when you
see him, I remember when Rel was it was started at Touch of the Past, him, Wildcat, right. Rel's been
right. So when you see a Deion Cole, when you see a Rel, when you see a Craig Robinson, these guys have been putting in work for years. People think that it's like he got discovered.
Exactly. Right.
What are some other things that people perceive wrong about comedians in you guys' eyes? Sonya, I'm gonna start with you.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people feel like, and like we talked about this last night, they get comfortable with us.
Mm-hmm.
They get a lot, a lot of people feel like, well, I've been knowing you for this amount of time and you should just do this for me. And they don't get it. We perfect this craft, to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get offended when they say, well, I want you to do my birthday party. Well, I'm beyond birthday parties.
Absolutely.
Do your birthday party for $500 and then think I'm gonna go to Airy Crown for $5,000. It just, it don't work like that. And they don't get, they don't drive, put it that way. They don't know why we in this whole thing, and it's still we want to get better so we can go to the next level. You go from the $500 gigs to the $5,000 to the $50,000 to the getting $1 million a movie. It takes it's a lot of work, and even 25 years. I want to see what's gonna happen in the next 10 years. Maybe I will be receiving my first Oscar. Maybe hope next year. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a grind. It's always gonna be a grind. And the moment you give up that, you're done.
Marilee?
Agree. Well, I don't think people think we possess the natural range of human emotions that people do. Like, it's so much pressure to always be happy, or some people feel the pressure to always be on. Like, sometimes you really have to take a break and say, I need to feel things other than I can't laugh. I like, you go through real life and then you got to go to somebody's show and make people laugh. Like, I had a show the night of my dad's funeral, and they were not going to understand that my daddy just died. They understand they paid $20 for those tickets and they want $75 worth of comedy. Yeah, and that's what they understand.
Yeah, I've always said that, and so we did speak on that. I think sometimes your home audience gets comfortable with you because we're so endearing, and people feel like relatable to us. Biggest problem I have with people is when they give me advice. Like, you've been and just tore a room up, and then it's that one guy.
Mm-hmm. We women, we know this too well.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you was good. But there's one thing you should say, and the first thing I'll be like, what you do for a living? How long you been doing comedy, bro? Like, I make a conversation, they'll be like, oh, I don't do comedy.
Right.
Leave me the F alone. Please. You're the only person. Everybody else is happy. It's always one. Then you get an opportunity, you be like, well, come on out to my Wednesday night. It's an open mic. Feel free to sign up. And matter of fact, you could do the joke that I did and add that in. And I think sometimes make it look so easy, people just feel like relatable with you. And that's a good thing in a sense.
And it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing too.
Sometimes it could be so annoying. Marilee, you were a demi-soloist at 16 with Fred Baker's West Indian folk dance company. Now, can you? I'm sorry. West Indian folks dance. Was it like reggae with guitar? Like, what's going on?
All bongos, drums, and it's the folk music. So it's the folk dances of the Africans that were taken to like those Caribbean countries, like Jamaican, Haitian. So we learned folk dances, and it was built upon ballet modern. So we did do regular ballet warm-ups. And I traveled with them in high school. I used to be gone from school, traveling in a hotel room with 3 other teenagers.
You know what? I'm finna cuss my producers out, because Kevin and them should have made you send footage in of that just to see y'all foot.
I got some good pictures.
See y'all footworking in grass skirts. Talking about this folk dancing.
You can put your theme music behind it, Leon.
When I say we was working out some drums, they was going crazy. Everybody hands swole, our knees hurting. As soon as I stopped dancing, fat everywhere.
Man, we'll be back, man. We'll be back.
Oh,
We'll
Marilee,
be
you
back
funny.
later with Leon, Marilee, Sonya D, and we're coming back with Why People, man. That's coming up, man. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Later with Leon. Marilee's in the building. Sonya D's in the building. We're having a good time. So, Marilee, let's continue on your rhythmic dance career. After that, you appeared in the Wigs, Passion Play, and Crossed, and many more. So, talk about your theater background. Your plays to me. Listen, let me tell you something. Plays to me are the scary. To me, it's the equivalent of stand-up because you're out there and you got to hit that line, or else it's like, movies. You stop filming movies, you can re-go and edit.
Right.
But plays are like comedy to me.
But it's just like you said, comedy. That energy is electric. I started off acting when my first headshot is 3 years old. So I started acting, theater, dance, but that energy from the crowd gives you, it's a difference. Like movie and TV acting, of course, is subtle because you're not acting for the person in the balcony. They can record it, cut it. When you're acting live, you got to come with it. If your mother won't watch that little son, you got to the mama. Please, mama.
You gotta do the lip push.
And the Oscar goes too.
Right.
I just want to thank everybody.
Sure,
People that's in the audience like.
Right, exactly.
Then they're like, girl, that mama knows she needs to watch her baby.
So you pretty much explained how you walked out on a leap of faith from the post office. Any regrets? Like, cause I remember when I quit my job to do comedy full time, maybe a year after that, man, it was rough. I almost went and started selling booty up north because it was I was out here bad.
And
so did you ever hold on, Sonya, did you ever have any regrets when you stepped away?
I don't think it was regrets. It's a lot of learning experiences, because you hot in the beginning, hot. Then all of a sudden the pilot turns down a little bit. You're like, okay, you getting money before you even work, you're spending it, and then they cancel a whole tour. You're like, okay, what just happened? So it's like, yeah, there's no regrets, but I thank God that I learned to turn it into a business, Yeah. Turn this into a business because it's called show business. You got to stop showing all the time and handle the business.
The business, yeah.
Been a few scary moments, yeah.
Yeah.
But you get it. You get it. Yeah.
Yo, man. What made you do comedy full time? When did you make the decision to say, "Hey, I'm just going to do this"?
Well,
do this thing?
Man, can I even talk about this? Okay. Well, I was teaching preschool at the time, and the schedule was just like so not conducive to getting up early in the morning. Because you're out at night, you're fraternizing, you're having drinks and cocktails with your friends, and you go into this spot. And then if you're on fire that night, then you go into the next 3 mics. And before you know it, you got a hangover at work. And one day I woke up. This is a real story. They will tell you. One day I woke up. It was 2 weeks after my birthday. And I was hungover the last time. And I just laid in the floor and I let the kids play on top of me. And I said, when I go home, I'm typing up that 2 weeks. I was like, I gotta trust God because my head
playing on top of you.
My head hurt every Monday. God, I have to trust you.
That's hilarious.
Talking to you like I was bleeding. Like
that's hilarious. What's one of the not to bring the energy down, but Marilee, what's one of the worst moments in comedy for you? Like, did you have a moment where you was just like you doubted yourself, or just something happened that really kind of almost sucked your soul dry from wanting to do it?
Well, when you first start comedy and you start meeting people, you're so excited and you forget that it's show business and you think it's show friends. And I had to really disconnect comedy, what I love to do, what I've been gifted to do, from people, experiences, or anything. You have low moments where you think this is going well, or you think this person is this, and then it's just so many changes that you go through because you learn yourself so much better doing comedy because you're talking about things that could be funny, but you don't even realize how traumatic it is until you've been doing this joke for 7 months and you just been unhashing all this stuff. So I had to really learn to separate. I stopped doing comedy for 18 months. And then I came back, I did a show with T. Murphy. He had me do his show. And then I just decided I owe myself too much to let anything other than myself choose for me to stop doing comedy. And that's not my choice. And I'll never stop again.
Woo! All right. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Sonya?
The worst moment for me was the Park West. Yeah. When you make it to a finals and you're like, oh, you're about to go to HBO, and then, you get a standing ovation, 1,200 people, and you don't even place first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I felt like, wow, it's like your soul got snatched out of you because you just know you won. You know, you got the whole room standing up for you, like, oh, I won, and you don't even place. You just go back to the corner and you go home. And I was like, wow, okay. Yeah, but then again, you look at it as another learn experience, you know? It's like, again, you cannot come in this business too strong, and all these people before you, they've been trying to get to HBO, and here you come, a new Jack, and you think you're about to take this from us? It ain't happening. Yeah, that was one of the worst experiences of my life, but I learned from it.
If you could change one thing about comedy, Sonya D, or the business, what would it be and why?
If I could change one thing about comedy, it would be to educate people. I can't really show because, you know, everybody's their own man and their own woman. But for us to network a lot better together, you know, because we could change the world, you know, as a force, not just one individual, but as a force to be reckoned with. And, you know, we got some of the best comics out of Chicago. Let's just keep it. And I think if we all came together and put our brains and our knowledge and our ideas together, we'd change the world. But, you know, that's going to take time because you still got a lot of people that want to be the man and want to have it all. You know, God got enough for everybody and then some. But a lot of people don't want to see it like that. So, yeah, I would love to change where we all come together and just make greatness happen together as a team.
Yes.
Marilee?
I just wish more comedians had vision. You know, we get lost into this is hot right now and this is going on, but there's so much inside of us as comedians artistically that we aren't tapping into because we get lost into trying to give people what they want. And I just wish comedians could remember the vision, remember why you create, not for any other reason than for you. I wish we could have that vision.
What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you on stage, Marilee? Like because I've seen a couple of your shows.
Man.
What's the crazy?
I had some crazy. Okay, I got one time in particular that I'm thinking of. 2018 2018. I had a show on the North Side, and I did like a cabaret style show because I sing too. So I'm on stage performing. All of a sudden, the Chicago naked bike ride is going up North Avenue.
Hilarious.
So now they going up the street naked and I'm trying to tell jokes. It was terrible.
That's hilarious. Sonya, you have anything ever crazy happen to you while you on stage?
Well, I don't think it was crazy. It was kind of nice. I was doing one of my jokes and, you know, I got my little, mess around on the first date joke, you know. Dude took that serious. Like, seriously, he just and gave me his number. And he's like, yo, call me, call me up the show. And I'm laughing, I'm joking it off, but I did call him. Oh, I called him. I called that number. That was something nice. That was weird and happy and fun at all the same time.
For me, it was, I had a scary thing happen to me while I was on stage. It was scary, but yet it was kind of like a badge of honor. I was cracking jokes and I was just, when you had them sets where you just on fire, everything's working, right? And this dude went into a seizure at the table. And I was just like, I just go like, damn, I'm the bomb, man. This dude is bad. I made him have a seizure.
Why you like that?
You ain't right. You are not right. Like, oh my God, you're right.
We'll be right back, man. More Later with Leon coming up. Welcome back to Later with Leon. I got Sonya D in the building and my girl Marilee, comedians, funny as hell. Make sure you follow these very talented young ladies. But of course, we're always on here doing our thing, man. We get into a lot of ethnic things because we are people of color here at Foxhole, and that's what we do. So we're always talking about what's right and what's wrong. And so my good friend Jay Davis, who always comes through with the sketches on point, has a little something that he liked to show to you all. And this one is called Ethnic Interpretations.
Fam, did you take my stapler again?
Excuse me?
Fam, stop playing with me. I'm looking at my stapler right here.
Fam is short for family. It doesn't literally mean your biological relatives. Instead, it's the people in your life with whom you're the closest to.
Oh, I got you.
You know what?
Wait a minute. Fam might have a completely different meaning, seeing as though his fists are balled up and he looked like he's about to beat your ass.
So what does it mean?
It means he about to beat your ass.
Funny.
Yeah, that's in the Bible.
We got to educate our Caucasian brothers and sisters, man. They got to know what it means.
We got to keep y'all safe.
So when it go down, they ain't there. Sonya, real quick, you had an incredible journey of weight loss, man. Talk about that and what brought you to that. Were you having health issues or you just decided to make the change?
No, I was no health issues. It was TV issues.
Okay.
When I did Def Jam, you know, you knew in the game, you hot. But when I seen my BET Comic View and them smoke was coming out them thighs and I walked across that stage and I realized, okay, you only 5 feet tall, you know? Everybody's like, oh, you got a cute face. I'm like, but cute and healthy, that don't go together. So I just literally, I came home, when I flew back, I came home and I said, you know what, today you're going to make that change. And I just said, you know what, I can't do this for the rest of my life. It's like, I'm not unhealthy, you know, I feel healthy, but I know that weight was not supposed to be on a 5 foot, you know, frame. So I just changed I completely changed the way I was eating. You know, a lot of people like, oh, you probably did surgery. Nope, no surgery, no diet. I didn't even do a diet. I just changed my eating habits. I didn't eat meat. I didn't do carbs for maybe 8 years. And it just literally took me about a year and a half to drop it all. And wow. When I say from 2017 to 2021, I gained 13 pounds. And a lot of people say that's not bad, you know, because, you know, your body changes as a woman. And, but yeah, it was definitely a journey because it's like now as you get older, we got to work a lot harder to keep it off. You can't do 1,000 crunches and you cut up again. You got to work at it. But yeah, the whole weight loss journey, it's something. I look at my Def Jam, I'm like, I cannot really believe I used to be that big. I don't have anything besides pictures to show me that I was that big. All the clothes I gave away, and yeah, it was a life-changing experience. Yes, it was.
Wow.
That jersey I'm wearing, that jersey was this man's extra large.
Wow.
And small now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marilee, before we get out of here, what's next for you? And if there was anything you could change in your career as far as coming up to now, would you? And why?
Yes. If I could change anything, I would have never stopped doing comedy for over a year and a half. And I'm not going to say I miss anything because anything that's for me is going to meet me if I stay on the path of my purpose. So that's not what I'm saying. But I will be so much stronger. Who knows? But I can't dwell on that. But coming up, I have a new psychedelic talk show produced by Hannibal Burris, who is such an amazing asset to the world and to Chicago comedy because he chooses to invest in his friends. Then that's not something that you see often. So he's producing a show called Trippin' with Niche and Lily, starring me and Just Niche. And we're working on that. And we're going to be shooting something big in November. And
get it, girl. Get it.
Definitely keep you guys posted.
Where can people follow you at?
Oh, you can follow me on social media, of course, the Marilee, TheeMarilee, and that's on everything.
Got you. Sonya D, 30 seconds real quick. What you got going on and where can they follow you?
Funny Lady, Sonya D, one word. That's all my social. Funny Lady, Sonya D, and you'll see everything I got going on. And exactly as a matter of fact, in August we will start shooting, and that's been out. It's actually out there. We'll start shooting my pilot for my TV show.
Nice. Wow. I can't wait for that because I know it's gonna be dope because I know how your mind thinks. Listen, I'm glad you ladies stopped by to kick it with me, man. Two of my favorite people in the game. Me and Sonya just worked together last night, had a bar. Man. Let me tell you something, Marilee. Your TikTok about going on vacation and then your period be like, I watched that video at least 4 times every day.
It's so real.
And I'm not even a woman. I don't even get it. But it's just the fact that that period dance. Yo, We go, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all stay
Appreciate you, Leon.
Lock the Fox
so
Code.
much.
Book of Sean is up next. Listen, if you see something bad out here in these streets, it's your duty to say something. Protect our communities. Y'all building back up. It's your boy, the Destined Legend, Leon Rogers. We gone. Peace.
All right. Peace out.